Hi everyone, I'm back. It's paired sample t-test time. So this is the last of the t-tests that I will be demonstrating and talking about. A paired sample t-test is used when you have metric data variable on which you want to compare two related samples. So the related samples that I'm going to be talking about in this video is variables that measure before and after staff training data. So that I've measured people's perceptions of staff friendliness in one time period. I have then trained my staff, and then in a post-training period I have measured customers' perceptions of staff friendliness again. So this is the same variable measured in two different time periods, and that is why that they are related. The other way that data could be related is that it could be, as I said, I've talked about previously, it could be I'm comparing 1 week versus another week, or it could be that I'm comparing, one aspect of an experience versus people's overall satisfaction with the experience. So in the example, I'm going to be using before and after measures and perceptions of staff friendliness. I'm not using the example that's in your textbook, and I've had to create dummy variables in the Delhi Depot dataset in order to demonstrate the paired sample t-test, because I found the example in the textbook confusing, so I thought I would create a simpler example of a paired sample t-test. So the procedure is here. So we need to analyze, compare means, and a paired sample t-test, the same as we have previously. So again, analyze, compare means, this time paired sample t-test. So I go down to these are the time 1 and time 2 variables that I have created. So T1 I add to variable 1, and T2 I add to variable 2. I just want to check my options. I'm at 95%. I hit continue and I say OK. So we have our output for a paired sample t-test. So how to analyze this data is that step 1 is to look at the bottom table on the right hand side. We need to check the significance of the paired sample, or the paired means. So we have a significance of 0.000, which is less than our cutoff of 0.05. So we say the difference between the means is significant. However, what is the significant difference between the means requires us to do more analysis. So therefore we then go to step B, which is we need to compare means, which is shown in the top table, where we can see that the before training variable or measurement of friendliness of the employees is 3.62, whereas we see that after training, or in our second time period after our staff has been trained, the customers perceive the friendliness of employees is actually less at 2.22. So what this means is basically training has significantly decreased the friendliness of Delhi Depot's employees. So we can conclude that our staff training has been unsuccessful in improving our staff friendliness, and in a certain sense it has, well, it significantly made our staff less friendly. So it's a very, very bad training. So That concludes all the videos to do with t-tests. Just to reiterate, a univariate sample t-test is conducted when you have a single sample and you want to compare it to some value. A independent sample t-test is done when you have two different samples, for instance, males versus females, or high and low users. And a paired sample t-test is when your groups have some relationship, before and after, or a subset of experience versus an overall experience. So that is t-tests. Now in the next video I'm going to move on and show you what happens when we have more than two groups that we want to test for, and in that case we then do what's called an ANOVA.